Howdy, readers. Welcome to Bulldog Books. Let's start off with our nonsense words. So, you are going to read as many of these nonsense words as you can in 1 minute. At the end of that minute, you'll pause the video and record the number that you were able to achieve. So, let me show you the nonsense words we are reading today. On your mark, get set, go. And stop right there. Now's the chance for you to pause the video and then go back and record your score. See if you were able to read more nonsense words today than you were the last time. Okay, let's move on to the second half of our book about Mr. Nobody. Now, last time I asked you about the different sequence of events and the characters in this book. So it started off and there was a loud noise, and it turns out a ball had broken a window in the bathroom. And then there was a splashing sound and someone had spilled some milk. And then the last thing we read, which brings us to about the middle of our book, was about a loud sound that was a door slamming. And each time, either the mom or dad character asked James and Molly and Elizabeth who made the noises, everybody had something else that they were doing at the time that the trouble started. So they said, oh, well, it just must be this Mr. Nobody that's broken the window, spilled the milk, and slammed the door. So the last thing we read before we ended our video last time was Mom had gone out and picked, do you remember what it was for dinner? The kids were super excited to have strawberries. Miss Sunshine loves to have strawberries for dinner. So let's see, because Mom said no, these strawberries weren't for the three characters that were the kids. The strawberries were for this Mr. Nobody. So let's read. Let's start down here and read on this page what happens next in our book. Are you ready? Begin. Oh, so it turns out it wasn't Mr. Nobody that broke the window. Turns out it was James, and he had to be very brave and admit that he had made a mistake. Let's read page 13. And 14. And page 15. All right, so let's take a look at this word, delicious. Delicious is a description word. We call a description word an adjective. So mom is using the word delicious to describe the strawberries. Can you think of any other describing words or adjectives that you would use to describe strawberries? We could describe strawberries as red. Red is an adjective or a descriptive word. We could say they are soft, yummy, tasty. These are all fantastic descriptive words that you can use to describe a strawberry. All right, let's take a look at this page that asks, are you a word whiz? Notice this list of words. Our author has shown us that all of these words have one word in common, and they're using the text feature bold text to show us that the word any is in all of these words. So let's read them all together. Anything, anyone, anywhere, anybody, anyhow. Now down below, the question asks, how many new words can you make from these? So this is kind of a fun game. Let's think of, whoops, let me go back one page. Let's think of other words that end in A-C-K. So the word I'm pointing at is crack. Let's see, what words can you think of that end with A-C-K? I immediately thought of the word pack or back, maybe rack or sack. Did you think of any of those too? Let's take a look at think. What other words do we know of that end in I-N-K, the word ink? On warm days, I like to get a drink. Some days we like to skate in a rink. What other words can you think of that end in I-N-K? The other thing I wanted to point out about the word think is the two letters that it starts with. We know a digraph is where we have two letters together, consonants, and they make one sound. So TH together says think. What about words that end in A-N-G, like the word bang? Sometimes when we use words that aren't really actual words, we call them slang. And sang, like she sang a song, is another word you could think of for A-N-G. Let's take a look at the word really. What other words do we know that end with an L-Y sound? I was just thinking of the word smelly or the word frilly. Can you think of any others? I bet you've got some really creative ideas. And then the last one is the word didn't. Can we think of other words that end with an N''T? What about can't or shouldn't? We could use the word couldn't. Well done reviewing some words with me today, and good job reading. I hope that you are brave, and if you make a mistake, that you say that you're sorry and own that mistake. At the beginning of this book, we talked about the moral of a story. If you could think of a moral for Mr. Nobody, what would it be? Did you say to always tell the truth? Yeah. Like I said, sometimes you have to be very brave to tell the truth, but it's a really great thing to do if you have made a mistake. I hope you had fun reading with me today, friends. It was wonderful to see you, and I'll see you next time on Bulldog Books.